Hello, good evening. So I hope this evening's go live finds you all well. We are halfway through our week, so that's always a good thing. At least it's not Monday, right? So tonight, I'm going to continue our Fool's Journey as we delve into the Lover's card. And to first briefly kind of go over the cards again, just so that you can retain them a bit better as we go through them, we started our journey off as the Fool, also known as the Seeker. Then on our journey, we encountered the Magician. And then the High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor. And this guy, the Hierophant. So tonight, we are going to be talking about this card, which is, this Roman numeral is for the number 6. So it is the 6th card in the Major Arcana. So to look at some of the the symbols here. So we've got the Sun, which stands for joy, happiness, clarity. Just think of a beautiful sunny day. The energy from that, like the feel of the sun on your face and how the world looks around you. And around them, the ground is like a yellow color. So it could be, from a symbolic way of looking at it, the yellow from the color of the sun illuminating their path, which would be toward each other. So in the card, so this is very reminiscent of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. I'll go into a bit of why that is. So here, we'll call them Adam and Eve. So here, our Adam is not trying to cover his nakedness. Okay, so this is before the fall from Eve tempting Adam with the fruit, and then they're banished from the Garden of Eden. So here, if you look, he is looking over at her thinking, wow, like he's all about her and she's so beautiful. If you look over at Eve, however, she's not really caring a whole lot about Adam. So she's more so looking up at the Archangel Raphael, who is the winged gentleman above them. The Archangel Raphael, he's more so known for healing. He is like the angel over air, so communication. The cloud that he's drifting upon is like your thought process, consciousness. So it's basically the electricity and chemistry between these two people, even though, again, Eve is kind of playing hard to get, like, guy, I just met you. I know I came from your rib, but I'm not even sure I like you. So that's the energy that Eve is putting off. Now, if you look behind her, okay, so we're going to delve a bit into mythology here and into the Old Testament. So you see a tree, and there is a snake that is over her shoulder looking down upon her, and there's fruit in that tree. And so that would be the tree of knowledge. So that would be the knowledge of good and evil, the snake symbolizing temptation. So here, at this point in time in the story of things, Adam was lonesome. God empathized with Adam when he gave Adam Eve to keep him company. And Adam adored Eve, but then Eve was wondering, what is it that God is keeping from us? this all-powerful entity that created the universe and everything in it. Because basically the serpent's like, aren't you wondering what God is keeping from you? And this knowledge, wouldn't you like to know and have it and own it? So it was her curiosity and greed, which was the beginning of our downfall. Now, behind our Adam would be a tree, and that would be known as the tree of life. So his tree, instead of having those green leaves, they look like fire. So I want you to think a moment about what I've told you guys about the suit of wands and about how that's all about the creativity, passion, drive. Adam is all about this time with Eve. So he's very much more so focused on her with that. Both of their arms are outstretched. Again, she has not partaken from the tree behind her, so she doesn't have this knowledge that we were talking about. That was the beginning of the downfall. And they're not trying to cover their nudity. At that point in time, they looked at each other and there was like nothing to be ashamed of. And then behind them, the sky is blue. Again, that sun is beautiful and shining. And there is a mountain in the distance, and it's a bit ominous looking. There's really no vegetation on it. I think it's kind of like, if you look at it from a darker perspective, after the downfall of Adam and Eve and how they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and then they had to suffer the rest of their life without their creator. I think that mountain in the background that we're looking at, that amber brown mountain, it symbolizes what lays upon, like, beyond that relationship with their creator. So as far as like the meaning of the Lover's card, so obviously it could be the chemistry, attraction, love. It's more so than just lust. Now, generally speaking, and you'll get different interpretations of this, but one that is commonly utilized is if the Lovers is turned upside down, which we're nowhere near talking about reversals. They say that's a relationship more so based in lust versus love. All right. Love, which is what these two ideally have going on before all the problems with the forbidden fruit and the snake that's tempting Eve here. This could also be a project. So it could be a project that you started that is like your baby and you love it. So for me, it would be my small business with my tarot, and my candles will be coming soon, guys, just so you know. I'll keep y'all informed. I'm working on the LLC, so I'm like really legal and doing things correctly with my business. But so see, that would be my baby from a project standpoint. Another thing too, which I've heard as an interpretation of this card, would be the relationship that we have to ourselves. So let's say if we're not being kind enough to ourselves, we're not taking care of our bodies and our minds and all this good stuff, and that relationship's not doing so well, sometimes the Lovers is kind of like, especially if you get it in a reversal or the whole spread, there's other cards there, and you look at the big picture, which eventually you will look at the big picture and see how they all interact and they all tell a story. You'll be like, wow, I really need to spend more time, say, journaling or walking or investing in myself. So that's kind of like self-tending as well. So it basically, in short, that's what that card means. And then we'll delve into the other cards here I have pulled. So here's one where there definitely is. So we don't have the Adam and Eve concept going on like we did with our classic card that we went through, the Rider-Waite-Smith. So this couple, they're looking at each other and like looking at the card, it looks like their eyes are closed. So there's a trust there, and she's hanging on to his hair. And he's like looking down at her, and in the background, it's like a red color. And so that, when you think of red, you think of passion. and the chemistry, which you can totally see the artist has utilized a lot of chemistry with the way these two people have an embrace going on, which is the energy of the lovers. You know, when you think about it, again, another person, it could also be a friend. So if you make a really good friend and you have that really cool energy and that cool vibe, and you have a lot in common, no, it's not romantic or anything like that, but you're like, wow, this is really cool. I'm really vibing with this person. That could be like a lover's feeling, like, wow, that's my person, right? So this other card really shows that too. So it's finding roots, and it's interwoven, whether it be another person, a project, to where it looks like these two trees, it's like they share the same fate, which is another thing about the Lovers card. It's like you meet this person or encounter this project, and it changes. It can change who you are and your path in life. It's really profound. And when you think about it, on our fool's journey, this is the first time that our naive fool has encountered the attraction to another being, and how that has ultimately changed the fool's heart. And from changing his heart, which again, I'm using sex loose. It could be male or female. It's even changed his journey, the path he's on, the way he sees his life. If he wouldn't have encountered this energy of the Lover's card, maybe he would have still remained pretty straight-laced after, getting through the ordeal with the Hierophant, right? And acquiring that knowledge. But now it's like, wow, what's this feeling, right? So I really think this is a really pretty card. And again, it shows with time how those roots grow deeper and stronger and more resilient, and the trees help support each other. I love that card. I think it's so pretty. And then this one, this is actually, and again, the Hush Tarot. I'm always using that as an example of a deck that's not based on Rider-Waite-Smith, but the artwork is beautiful and I don't regret buying it. But I think that the Lover's card here really resounds, and I'll hold this guy up. So here there's a lot going on, a lot of detail, but it shows this couple, and it appears that they are in this beautiful garden just surrounded by all this floral and greenery, and there's swans, and the two of them are just enjoying each other's company. And then there's this peacock, and with the feathers going around their heads there. And you know that basically in nature, the males are the beautiful ones with all of the color. And usually the females are brown. It's only humans where we're the opposite. Whereas women, we generally wear makeup and we're more colorful than the men folk, but not in nature. So here it just shows that they're just enjoying each other's company, and their heads are turned a bit toward each other. And it's just a really beautiful, colorful picture. So I feel like they did a really good job on this card with that deck, because you really get those lovers vibes from that card. So basically that sums up the Lovers. And then tomorrow we will delve into the Chariot, which is our next card in the Major Arcana. And it's also considered the card of the year. So if you take 2023 and you add up 2 plus 2 plus 3, then you get the number 7. And the Chariot is the number 7 card in the Major Arcana. So I would really encourage you guys, even if you really don't have much of an interest in learning tarot, then I would definitely want to tune into that, because I'll go into a little bit of the insight as to the significance of the Chariot, and I'll briefly even maybe touch base about what it holds for the 2023, those Chariot vibes. And tonight, I feel really kind of like in tune with my cards and all that good stuff, because I've been doing stuff even before my go live. So I think I'll do a separate go live where I will pull an oracle card from a different deck, because why not? You can pull a card whenever you want. So I appreciate you guys, and I see my mom's on. Love you, Mom. I miss you and Belle, and Christy's on. I hope you're doing well, especially with your projects and all that good stuff. I've seen some of your posts, Christy's. You look like you've been very busy getting things accomplished. And of course, my husband. I know what my husband's been into. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. I send you all a big hug. And we're almost through this week, guys. Stay warm out there and be safe. And I'll talk to you later. And I'll hop on shortly to do an oracle card. Thank you.